everyone. Welcome to McCarter's Fireside Chats. I'm Sarah Rasmussen. I'm the newish artistic director here at McCarter on the beautiful campus of Princeton University. And I'm here at our fireside, our real live fire.
Our natural fireside.
Our natural fireside with an iced coffee, thanks to Jam and Crepes, and an amazing guest. We have so much to talk about today. This is Valeria Torres-Olivares, and Valeria is a student right now at Princeton University. Mm-hmm. She's also incredibly involved in the Princeton community. She's a social justice activist who sits on the board of Not in Our Town and recently helped organize Princeton's very first ever Juneteenth celebration, which is awesome, and is so active on campus. And she's also, well, I'm going to let you talk a little bit tell us a little bit about what you're studying and what you're passionate about right now in the community and on campus.
Yeah, well, there's a lot that I'm passionate about, especially since I grew up here. So currently I'm studying public policy and computer science, two fields that are of great interest to me, and I'm super excited to be able to actually intersect them in my future and what I'm doing right now. On campus, I'm currently the president of the Latin American Student Association, and I'm also a part of the SPIA, which is now the School of Public and International Affairs Student Advisory Board, as well as a dancer and choreographer in my dance group. And then aside from that, I actually do have a nonprofit that I do in town called Code Equal that I started with my younger sister, Kiara, who at the time was 13, and so she was very young. And I started that in high school, and because I ended up going to Princeton, I was able to continue that work. And we started that because we saw disparities in our computer science classrooms. We saw that there was a lack of women. There was also just a lack of diversity within the classroom, both socioeconomic and ethnic. And so we really wanted to offer up free classes and resources for students to be able to actually get into computer science, or at least interested.
That's amazing. Thank you for doing that. That's incredible. Now, in doing some research for our Fireside Chat, I saw this amazing Tonight Show interview online where you talk a little bit about that, and you're talking about both your passion for art and visual art and computer science and coding. Mm-hmm. And I found that so fascinating because in this moment, we're all trying to figure out how we share arts and community virtually. Can you tell us a little bit more about that intersection of that passion for arts and computer science, and what do you see as an opportunity in this moment in terms of how we experience or access art through technology?
Yeah, so actually, before it was computer science and public policy, art was my main focus. And so I grew up in the Arts Council of Princeton and also going to McCarter classes here and events. And so that's something that's very dear to my heart. And so after discovering computer science, that was the main reason why I enjoyed it so much, because I found that it was a new medium for me to explore art through. And so my first computer science project was actually creating a virtual reality escape room that was galleries. And so I had a bunch of Frida Kahlo paintings and some of my favorite paintings and artists present in the galleries, and you navigated through it. So actually, that was what started my interest in computer science. And I think right now more than ever, computer science is incredibly important and just technology in really making sure that art is accessible, and so is education through art. And so while we still can have some in-person events, I think it's actually a really, really great opportunity to start doing virtual galleries, or just getting more comfortable in having sort of a hybrid situation with now we can actually see art and theater done throughout the world, right in our own living rooms, which we might not have felt as comfortable doing before. So now in our own new reality, it's kind of figuring out a way to develop, I guess, a personalized sense through art and touch. And that can even be through creating your own, for example, galleries, or instead of just doing regular workshops with arts and crafts, you can do arts and crafts combined with computer science and technology. So that's very new and very scary for some people, but it's actually really accessible and interesting.
Yeah.
So
I love what you're saying about access, because of course we want live performance, we miss it, we want that to come back, but there are really some opportunities right now in terms of access and what we, both in education and what we share. We're about to launch a virtual festival of work by this playwright Adrienne Kennedy, whose work we feel like really needs to be seen, but it's really exciting to us that people can access that from anywhere.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
I'm also really curious about this moment and all that's gone on in 2020, and I love that, you have a connection to McCarter and deep connection to this community. What do you think, with your passions for social justice and art, what do you think we'll need as audience members coming back? What should our institutions be thinking about as we prepare to come back?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of options on the table. Like you said, now access is a lot easier because thankfully, at least in Princeton, we're getting a lot of, for example, the schools are giving students their own computers. So that's expanding so much access and opportunity for students who hadn't been able to gain access to computers before and a stable Wi-Fi. And so now actually members of our community would be able to learn more about McCarter and all of the different events that you guys are going to have online. I think it's definitely an adjustment, especially for those of us who like to be present in the moment and in the theater or in whatever exhibition that we're viewing. But I think it makes it even more special to be able to do that now that we actually can't do that all the time. And I just went to my first museum this past weekend since 7 months ago. So that was really exciting. But I think it's definitely going to allow us to make art more accessible to everyone. And so I think that's really special. And in terms of organizations preparing how to do that, I think they already started and they've been doing a great job. But there's definitely room for growth in the sense that we weren't as comfortable with technology. And now I think we're being forced to expand what we're comfortable with. So,
absolutely. Yeah,
and
a lot of learnings
coming
coming out of this time that we'll take forward. I'd love to hear, you just shared prior to this interview about some really cool stuff you're working on. Is there anything you want to plug to our audiences watching to keep an eye out
Sure.
for?
Yeah. So with my nonprofit, Code Equal, I'm working on a few things. But we usually organize the Congressional App Challenge hackathon here in New Jersey, which hadn't been done prior to that. And so basically the Congressional App Challenge is Congress's attempt to get students interested in STEM or computer science, and it's for high school students, and whoever wins in their district gets to present their app at Congress, actually. Amazing. It's a little bit different this year, but that's usually how it goes. And so now we're trying to work with other companies to actually make it a national effort. That's what we're working on right now. We're also working on creating workshops that will be live because we usually do teach in person. We teach twice a week for the entire school year at the Princeton Public Library. Obviously, we can't do that at this moment, but we're doing everything live. We're doing tutorials. So we're actually working on a few projects. So
amazing. And we'll make sure to get those links from you so we can drop them
definitely.
in.
Thank you.
So people can find them as they're watching. Okay, so I'm relatively new to Princeton. I'm about 8 weeks into being here. And in this socially distant time, I would love to hear some of your recs for things that one should know about Princeton. So just very quick pop quiz here. Favorite place to get takeout? A favorite place.
A favorite place.
A favorite place.
Can I list two?
Yes, please.
Well, definitely Nomad Pizza.
Okay.
A favorite. As well as Jim and Crepes. So
nice.
Yeah, they're right up the street and they're delicious. So
exactly. What's a favorite socially distant activity right now that you're enjoying?
Probably actually just going outside more. I think I've been spending a lot of time at my laptop indoors, so going on socially distant picnics with friends who are nearby has been a real treat.
Taking a tech break. What's something you can't wait to do when we can be back together in person?
Dance, probably. Dance together, also do art. We actually, for Latinx Heritage Month, which is going on right now, we had a indigenous artist virtually come, who came last year as well, and we all did a paint along together and learned about like the creation story of the Mayas, and so that was a really amazing and like calming experience for my week. It was still tech related, but it was really nice to be able to combine like tech with the physical. So yeah,
I'm sure, especially when you're doing remote learning and you're on computers so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming to our Fireside today.
Yeah, of course.
We're
Thank
so
you for having me.
inspired by all that you're doing. So thank you for all your work, and thanks for being at our chat today.
Yeah, thank you so much.